Good morning, everybody. Stu Smith here going live, and it is Tuesday, so that means it is our live Q&A show along with some CSS critiques, and we have several videos to show you. We'll take those here in a minute, and then we'll go right into the questions and answers. But we're getting ready for a snowstorm. Nothing crazy, probably 5 to 8 inches, but that means I got some snow shoveling to do today. And hopefully won't be shut down for tomorrow, but you never know. Maryland weather is flaky at best. And if you don't like the weather, wait a few days. Good news about this is it's probably going to be above freezing tomorrow. Most of this stuff will be melted and we'll be back to normal. But let's go right into the CSS critiques. And what I want to show you guys are a few of the exercises. Let me pull them up. Where'd they go? I'll be damn. Got to pull them up again. Um, anyway, I got some submitted videos for you guys, and should be some new ones here. We got a good underwater one we haven't done in a while, so I'll show that one first. This guy wound up doing a whole 50, which wasn't pretty, but it was accomplished, and it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be done. So let's watch some of these. Post this up here. All right, so you guys can see this. So here's the beauty about this. You kick off the wall. Now, I will say this, at Buds, you don't get to the luxury of kicking off the wall. You jump in feet first at the deep end and you do a front flip. So this is kind of a good first step to getting to that ability. But you can see here, he's got a good, nice kick off the wall, super streamlined, not doing anything, and that's where you want to be. You don't want to be flutter kicking here. Don't want to be pulling too soon. Just glide it out. And that's smooth right there. Now, all this little extra flutter kicking here doesn't need to be here, but it's not a whole lot. Got a scissor kick there instead of a breaststroke kick. That's okay. If you're not good at breaststroke kick, why try to do it underwater? Just double arm pull, glide. So here's the sequence. Obviously, you got a double arm pull, hold that glide. That's where you probably hold your glide the longest. Then you got a kick, double arm pull, hold that glide. Then you got to kick and hold that glide. So he's doing it pretty well. Like he's losing a little momentum with it, but it's nice and relaxed. I think that was like 4 strokes to get across the pool. Still relaxed, looking smooth. Now you'll see about halfway he starts speeding up the stroke count, which I will tell you this, it doesn't get you there any faster. Just instead of like kicking more and pulling faster, just hold the glide out a little bit. Takes a little bit of practice and discipline, and make sure you got a good streamline. You see that how his streamline started going to crap? Watch his streamline here. See that? So biceps on your ears. Remember that. Keep your head down. And just count strokes. Usually, if you like coming back, he wind up doing like 8 strokes instead of 4. But you know, who's really to call him on this? He passed the 50-meter test. It's one of the first tests you'll do at Buds. And I will say this: a lot of people panic over this thing. They do a lot of practicing of it, and really, not many people fail this thing. I think I've met one person that has failed this thing in 20 years. Now, obviously, I wasn't at Buds at every class, but my own class, we didn't have anybody fail it. We actually had 100 people go in. We started with 120. 4 days later, we had 100. So people were quitting long before this 50-meter underwater swim started. But yeah, I remember walking in there with a perfect 100 count, and I was like, this be a good test. Let's see how many people quit on or fail the 50-meter underwater. And we really thought, 25% of the class would fail it. 0% failed it. I don't know what it is. Game day, people push through it, and it's not pretty. Like this right here, this section right here is not pretty. But guess what? It's done. It's passed. Nice work. Never do this alone. That's my number one rule. Never play around alone. And if you're watching somebody do this and they stop moving, jump in and get them. Don't sit there and look at them like, wow, he can really hold his breath a long time. Don't do that. All right, let's see what else we got here. Any? All right, let's see. Let's show another one, shall we? Well, I need to get out of what I was on. Okay, hang on one second. Next here, this is a pretty good one too. Let me get from the kickoff. All right, so let's share my screen. There we go. Make it a little bigger. Volume off. All right, let's see what this looks like. I will say this. You see the ripples he's causing right now? Probably because he's skimming the surface a little bit too much. You got to get your butt down, get your shoulders down. Be underwater when you do this kickoff, because if you're plowing, it's not as bad as I thought. So, yeah, make sure you're not plowing the surface when you do this. All right, so he's got a top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. This is pretty good. Something that I think that top arm could grab more water. See how you kind of just keep your arms straight? Reach out way in front of you, like right here, right? And get that hand bent down, right? So you're grabbing more water with your forearm versus just kind of creating this omnidirectional force vector that, yeah, it pulls you forward, but you could pull forward better if you grab water up here, pull it down, then push it down with your triceps versus just swing your shoulder in a circle. That's what I mean by directional force vectors. Like if you're just swinging your arm in a circle, your force vectors are going in a circle. Right? You want a force vector that is going this way, so you go this way. Does that make sense? All right, so top arm, bottom arm, kick, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, pull. Could be a little tighter on the recovery as well as the glide position. Something I like to do, and I know this is preference, but you see how you're on your side the whole time? My advice is just scooch over a little bit more on your belly, and that helps with that freestyle catch a little more. Like when you kick off the wall, you're on your belly, but this whole stroke being on your side, sometimes it feels awkward being on your side. You kind of lose balance. You lose a little bit of power. It's good for your kick, which you got a good kick. You just need to be tighter on that streamline, glide, and the recovery. And it looks like I can't really see it from here, but it looks like your streamline glide, okay, is kind of here, not here. So it's preventing you from going straight, and you're at this little, you have these little fine maneuvers every stroke to like pull yourself back to the left, but naturally you'd go straight. If you weren't in a swimming pool, probably what would happen is you just keep drifting right until you just hit a big circle. So streamlining does matter, and so a little shoulder mobility might help you with that. All right, let's see what else we got. Let me get out of this. I think I have a couple of more. That's loud. Got a couple more I haven't shown you yet. So let's see here. All right. Yeah, I don't think I've shown you this one. This one's not that good, but let's see. Kick off the wall. Not bad. Got a good double arm. Decent double arm pull. Grab water. Yeah, see how it's just your elbows are out, and like none of that is very streamlined. right? You're just kind of, yeah, you pulled forward, but you're also plowing yourself to stop. So keep everything tight. Top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. Top, bottom, kick and glide. All right, not bad. Top. I think your kick's weak. Yeah, your kick's a little off. It looks like instead of a pair of scissors, it's like a broken pair of scissors. Like your legs aren't really even going parallel. You're popping your head up to breathe every stroke. So your feet kind of drop. You do these little flutter kicks. Don't really need that. Yeah, you're missing out on that scissor kick. So my advice for you is there's an article I wrote called Fix Your Kick. And you need to fix your kick. So it's some kickboard drills you need to do, make this happen a little bit better for you because your kick's a little bit off. You got the timing of the stroke down. Top arm, bottom arm kick. 1 Mississippi. Yeah, you could hold the glide a little longer. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi pull. Yeah, you're close. But you're just not gliding. You see? Like when you kick, you don't glide. Even with those little flutter kicks, you're not moving. So it's way too much work. We got to fix that kick. There's an article. In fact, if you go into the Google search CSS help, fix your kick, might have to put Stu Smith in there. There's an article right here called Fix Your Kick. CSS help, fix your kick. And there's some drills in there for you. In fact, I'll put it in here in the comment section. And let me cancel this screen share. Why can't I? Oh, I already did. You guys saw that, right? Was I sharing then? I hope I was. Maybe I canceled and I just didn't know it. All right. Where's some comments? You guys got any comments over here? Comments, questions? Okay, somebody just got off work. Get some sleep. Yeah, that night shift, man, it's tough. Something I would say is if you're working night shifts, try to get that workout done before you start work, right? So you do a late night, late early evening workout and then go work. That'll keep you up, but make you a little more alert during your night shift when you want to sleep. And then try to get to sleep first thing. Grab something to eat and go to sleep. Black out your room. That's how we used to do it. Greetings from Bogota, Colombia. Thank you. What is the article to fix your kick? Well, you can Google that thing, but I'll put it right here for you. The title literally is CSS Help Fix Your Kick. It's right there in the comment section for you there, Jack. Let me see. No more questions here. Trey says, thanks for helping us with these videos. Not a problem. Let me see if I have some more. I think I may. Since I don't have any questions, I might as well show some videos. All right, so this was the last guy. Let me see. I think this was last week. When did I get this one? February 2nd. Okay, so I got this one on Sunday. Yeah, I guess I haven't shown this one, or maybe I did. I don't know. We'll see. Let's remember this one. If you do, sorry. Kick off the wall, dolphin kick, top arm. Oh yeah, I showed this one. I remember that silly mask. Okay, let me see if I have some others. I might have some others. I know I have some way up here because this is where I store them. So let me show some older ones. See what we got. I'll show some from our logo. Oh, can't beat this one. This is probably one of the best CSSs I've seen in probably ever. And this is for a non-swimming athlete. There are some competitive swimmers that do this thing crazy good, but this is about as good as it gets for a non-swimming athlete who can coast in at a 730. So let's just start it off. Kicks off the wall, double arm pull with a dolphin. Oh, wait. Did you do double arm pull? Dolphin kick skips the double arm pull. I think I was saying, hey, let's try one without the double arm pull, see what you think of it. And sure enough, he liked it. It didn't slow him down any by skipping it, and he got an extra breath per length. So it does help, especially if you're pushing the swim, trying to be a little faster than normal. But yeah, this is about as smooth as it gets. Top arm, bottom arm kick, to 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Yeah, see, the reason why he can go past 3 and hit that 3 Mississippi 4 is look at that streamline. One, he's got a good kick. Two, look at the streamline he has. Top arm, bottom arm, kick, streamline. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. Yeah, that's smooth. And this is fast. This is a 41-second 50. So if you do the math on that, that's like just under 7 minutes. So if you really want to compare your swim to somebody else's, just watch this. And he does a scissor kick with this one. Sometimes he'll do a breaststroke kick with it too. Either one's good. I think he likes the scissor kick better. But I could just look at this one all day and just I usually put this one to music and just reshare it because it's so darn good. Yeah, but if you want one that is perfect, I have this one posted on my Instagram and TikTok. I think I have it on YouTube Shorts as well. But I probably called it Perfect CSS or something, but you can definitely find it again. These are good ones. Damn. Let's end on that one because I think that is just too good. Would your program apply to Borstar Bortac training? I've had some people go through and get through that Borstar Bortac training. It depends, though. I will tell you this. The seasonal tactical fitness periodization programming, like this, yes, it will build the all around tactical athlete that you need, but you may need to specifically focus more on running and rucking and load bearing. So, my advice would be focus on like a Ranger SF program. Though I do have a recommendation to do a winter lift cycle, build some durability and some strength, and then rip it up and get some mileage under your belt with running and rucking like a Ranger would, because I would say compared to those two activities, you're going to be on your feet rucking a lot, especially during the selection process. So make sure you are prepared for that. Yes, blackout curtains are the best, especially you're on night shift. Good job. Got some questions over here on Brian Underwood. As a Warrior Challenge Scout, I appreciate these videos. Oh, thank you. Well, trying to help, trying to be an asset. Send it out. Do you think it's important when submitting a swim for critique to show a fresh lap at one or one from later in the swim? It doesn't really matter. I don't need to see you sprinting a 50, right? In fact, I would prefer you just do a nice steady 50 CSS like you're taking a test. It's obviously a pace because you're not sprinting a 500. So pace yourself so you can maintain a pace. We usually try to get everybody at a yard per second. So if you can get yourself to that yard per second, 50 yards in 50 seconds, perfect. If you're somewhere like 40, 54, 55, 1 minute, definitely send it in because you're doing something wrong and it's probably streamlining, it's probably a weak kick, could be an arm pull issue. Yeah, I don't know. So many different things that could go wrong on that. Could be overgliding and losing all your momentum. So those are kind of typical issues with people going slower. Some people that are going really fast, it's unsustainable and they're just cranking out strokes like 10, 15 strokes per length, which my recommendation is try to get your strokes per length down to 5 or 6 is a pretty efficient CSS. Anything more than that, I think you're working too hard compared to people who actually know how to swim. So there we go. Looks like I've answered all the questions here. Let me just show you a few things if you're not familiar with what we do. All right, so like I just mentioned, the CSS help, like Stu Smith Fitness website right here. If you guys haven't seen that, um, it's got a little horizontal navigational thing. We got books, military, spec ops, police, firefighter, general fitness, coaching, articles. That's where a lot of these things are. Probably have, I don't know, 1,000 articles over here. There's a members only section. There's a home gym workout section, podcast links, more books on seasonal periodization. I even have some fitness apps out there. You can find them on here. Tactical fitness course, stuff like that. So anyway, these articles right here, there's just so many of them. Like this is the latest article. How many are interested in spec ops? Or many are interested in spec ops, but few want to work hard to get there. Unleashing the power of discomfort. So I write a lot of workouts and articles. This is one for 50 and over. If you're interested in that, turning failing and mistakes into fuel. So tons of articles here. And there's a little search section up here. Like if you wanted to type in like winter lift cycle, like what we're on right now, it'll pop up not only with books, but with the articles. Who's ready for a winter lift cycle for the tactical athlete, why do a winter lift cycle mixed with cows and cardio. So many different things I do over here on Stu Smith Fitness. Tons of articles, podcasts, coaching, books, ebooks, all that stuff. So that's what Stu Smith Fitness is. If you haven't been over there, check it out. There's a ton of information. I mean, you could spend a couple rabbit holes of time going through all that stuff. All right, got some more questions here. I appreciate you guys asking questions. Um, let's see, Stu, in terms of running and lifting, would you say less is more in case of lifting, maintaining muscle mass? Yes. I just cut my lifting down to 4 days a week. Yeah, that's plenty. If you're trying to get better at running, I probably wouldn't lift that much. Um, just especially if you're going heavy. If you're going super heavy, it's lifting heavy and running faster, especially on legs. It's just hard. It's easy to maintain when you're good at both, but it's hard to improve in both at the same time. You might maintain one and improve in the other. That's typically how it works. But to see growth in both is almost impossible. Unless you're really nailed down the recovery cycles and you're not working night shifts, and there's so much goes into how you can maintain muscle mass and try to run faster at the same time. Calories in, how much you burning. But yeah, that's a good question. Let's see what else we got. All right. Yeah, I've been lifting and doing mostly sprints for the past few years and just started back into long distance running. Yeah, lifting and sprints is great because speed, agility, power, and strength all go really well together. But here's the deal. None of those go very well together with muscle stamina and endurance. So that's why we cycle through things. Like we're doing a winter lift cycle now. Yes, we're still running, but it's more of a maintenance run type program. Um, but we're lifting more. And in the spring and summer, we'll flip it. We'll run, progress logically with our running, 10 to 15% a week, and then we'll do more calisthenics, less lifting to a point where we're really focused on endurance and muscle stamina. But we will typically, like in this program here, this little block periodization program right here, we'll do a week of lifting just to kind of deload that progression a little bit. And that has been very helpful. One, with reduction of overuse injuries, but also maintaining some of those hard earned gains that we had from the winter lift cycle. Because we still have hard gainers here that are training. We also have easy gainers, right? That are just, when they lift, they put on weight. So you have to make some adjustments for what type of athlete you are. Do you have any preferred fartlek workout you like to do with your candidates? Yeah, we do a lot of interval stuff. I mean, one of the classic ones we'd always do is like 400-meter fast, 400-meter slow. You know, that's kind of an easy one. If you want to get a little harder, you make it a little shorter and faster. Maybe try 200-meter fast, 200-meter slow, and you can really pick up the speed on that. Something we've been doing lately is you guys ever seen the Manchester United run workout? This one's a good one. This is a great winter lift run workout because it's a 100-yard sprint and then you jog back. Right now, you got a choice here. You can rest and be fully recovered and do that like 10 times. That's a good little workout. Or you can make it more of a conditioning workout and you do 100 sprint, 100 jog, and you're on every minute on the minute. So you might get 10 seconds rest and you got to go again, right? So you come back, go down there fast, jog slow, 10 seconds rest, go again. Do that 10, even 20 times. That is a hard 10 to 20 minute workout, conditioning wise and speed wise. But if you're really just looking for speed, you want to recover more so you can actually push yourself on the fast part of that. But anyway, that's kind of what we do. I mean, I know there's so many different ways to do it. We'll do them on the bikes too, with like Tabata intervals. 30-second sprint, 10-second easy, 30-second fast, 30-second easy, 1 minute fast, 1 minute easy. So those kind of things we like to do when we're doing intervals. Got some more questions here. Can a person practice in 40 to 50 degree water, or is that too low? Well, I will tell you this. We usually do our open water swims until it reaches about 55. After that, we need wetsuits if you're going to be in that water. Because even then, we'll do a 55-degree swim without a wetsuit, and we'll limit it to just 1 mile. So you're only in the water for 20 minutes, or no, maybe 30 minutes. And sometimes, depending on how you're feeling, we'll shift it to just half a mile. So you're only doing about 800 to 1,000 yards of swimming, especially if you're new to it and you haven't done it yet. So you're limited in time if you don't have a wetsuit. That's the thing. And I usually limit that time to about 15 to 20 minutes for most people. So more of my more veteran folks I'll push them a little bit and go 25, 30 minutes. If you're a normal person just trying to be an asset in tactical situation in normal life, what fitness standards would you recommend? That's a great question. I would say this, if you do a couple of Google searches, you'll see there's some great posts out there on what a person should be able to do, right? Just to be a man, for instance, right? So you should be able to run a 7-minute mile. You should be able to do 10 pull-ups. You should be able to do 50 push-ups. be able to do 20 dips, should be able to bench press your body weight. You should be able to squat and deadlift 1.5 times your body weight. Yeah, I think those are good standards for what I would consider kind of like a intermediate to advanced level, um, good at everything athlete. Swim, if you can swim 9 minutes for a 500, any stroke, doesn't really matter. How do those sound? I should write an article on it because there's some debate in some of those scores. I realize, but I think they're pretty good. I mean, even me at 56, those scores are very achievable. Um, which book is the best book for SEAL candidates? PST, FinWork, Running, CSS. All of them. CSS phase one, if you really want to focus on PST, but there's also extra stuff in there. There's swimming with fins, there's treading water, there's pool skills, all that stuff, but it's really focused on you crushing that PST. It's called the Navy PST workout. I don't think I have a copy of it here. But anyway, you can go to my website and see it right on the main page. In fact, I'm just going to walk you through it because there's a whole bunch of them. So this is the front page of, if you go to StuSmithFitness.com, this is it. Like this workout right here, Navy SEAL, Navy PST, not Navy SEAL, because this is for SEAL, SWIC, EOD, diver, rescue swimmer, SARC, or SOIDC, what they call it now. So phase one, this is phase two, getting a little more specific for buds. All of these have very SEAL specific training. So I shouldn't say SEAL specific, Spec Ops specific training. You're running, you're rucking, you're swimming, you're lifting, you're doing calisthenics, all of them, just different cycles. Like this is really good one here. The spring training program's a really good one. We'll probably do that one in the spring coming up after we do this one here, the increased strength and crush the PST. Let's see what else we got here. So let me go into the Spec Ops side. But those are my main books for uh, Navy Special Warfare. These three right here: Phase 1, Phase 2, 3, and Phase 4. This one's for SWIC. So you can see all these different, what I would consider special ops related. These are fairly advanced workouts, books and ebooks available. And if you're wondering, like this is an ebook, right? So the title right here says ebook. A book would say book to it. So sometimes people buy the ebook and say, "I wanted the book." What do you mean by that? All you have to do is read the description. If you go down here, it says, "If you prefer the book version, click here," and look what happens. You're now at the book version. So anyway, I try to make it easy for you, but it's not foolproof. Let's see. Is there a bench press, squat, deadlift, power clean numbers that you would say stop worrying about lifting and start your calisthenics? Yes. In fact, if you go to this article, just type assessment tool to get to and through selection, right? In fact, I'll share it with you so you guys can check this out. I'll put it over here. But I'm actually going to just walk through it real quick because I think this one's a pretty good one, pretty important. So you guys can see this. So this is a podcast Jeff and I did about this very topic. And then, these are some of the things that the answer to these events below largely depend on these 5 issues. And how you start training is your athletic history, your strengths and weaknesses, your current fitness level, time available to train each day, equipment to train. All of those matter with how you prepare. Okay. And then from here, as you can see, Push-ups 80 to 100, sit-ups 80 to 100, plank 4 minutes, pull-ups 20 plus is recommended. Now these are, by the way, these are actual average scores of former students of mine who are now active duty operators. So been doing this for a long time. Got hundreds of people active military spec ops. So I just did a little random sampling and came up with some averages. And these were before they left. Before they left. So 9 minutes or faster on the mile and a half, 6 minute miles for all of these, as you can see. 7 minute miles or faster for a 4 mile timed run. Same for Army Ranger test. 8:20 or faster for the swim. 1,000 meter with fins. This used to be a test. It's no longer. But if you can get 1640, which is, by the way, 1820 times 2, so it's a yard per second with fins, that's really good. But if you're in that ballpark of 16 to 17 minutes, that's great. That's going to put you at 32 to 34 on the 1 mile, 2,000 meter swim or 2,000 yard swim. And then if you double that, every week you're going to be taking a 4 mile swim at Buds. As you can see right here, it's 72 minutes or faster, which is can be 74 as well, somewhere around there. That's going to be at that 35, 36, 2000 time, which 35 is really kind of easy. I think most of the guys are getting like 32s, so they're hitting like 64, 65s for the mile. Now, I will tell you that if you're doing in the 60s, you're probably top 10% of your class. So, and that's kind of where these guys were. Treading water, 10 minutes, no hands. Treading water with fins, 12 pound or 10 to 12 pounds. The test is only 5 minutes, but we go for 10 just to be prepared for it. We usually do these as a warm up or a cool down to every swim workout. If it's a leg day, we're doing fins. If it's an upper body day, we don't do fins. Weight vest pull up, 15 plus. Body weight bench, 15 plus. I've seen guys get 25, 30 on this one. So this is just a good above average range right here. I usually just say double digits, but 15 to 20 is kind of like the silver standard, right? Still going to be top 20% of the class. You might get a few guys that are over 20, maybe even the 30s. Deadlift, same deal. 1 to 5 reps of 1.5 to 2 times your body weight. 2 times your body weight's a little high, but these guys are pretty strong when they went in. Usually, from a previous background of liftings, but 1.5 is sufficient. 60 seconds or less on a 300-yard shuttle. Long jump is just a little bit taller than how you are, maybe a foot taller than you are. So 72 plus another foot, it's about 85 if you're 6 foot tall. This is going to depend on your height. So usually what I mean by this one here is just add a foot to your height and see if you can jump it. If you can do more than that, great. It's just a power test. 1.5 body weight for squats, 5 reps. So if you're 200-pound dude, 300 for 5 reps, not that hard. If you've done any lifting. This is a good one here. The lunges here, chest carry lunges, 400 meters with 40 pounds. And usually most people can get that done without stopping. But here's the test of this. The test of this is, can you do it and not be sore the next 2 days? That tells me a lot about your ability to recover, because I promise you, when you're going through a selection, you're doing log PT lunges on your chest like this one day, and the next day you got a 4 mile timed run or a long run or ruck. You're going to be glad your legs can quickly recover. So we do that as a test of recovery, not necessarily a test of distance. But you got to build up to that one. Hang clean. Usually try to get body weight, 0.75 body weight. That's still a lot to hang clean. if you haven't done hang cleans before, if you're a 200-pound dude, 200-pound dead hang clean is really tough, or power clean for that matter. Um, but if you're good at the technique of that, that's not that hard. I mean, you can put up well over your body weight, for multiple reps once you learn the technique of it. But that's not one that's really necessary. It's nice to be able to do, but not necessarily. Grip test, this is really important. Pull up bar, hang on there for a minute. Farmer walk 400 meters without dropping the 50-pound dumbbell. Now, if you really want to test yourself, put two 50-pound dumbbells in there and do it, and see if you can not drop the dumbbell after either dumbbell for 400 yards. That's a really good test. In fact, we have this workout now. We started that you got two dumbbells in your hand or a kettlebell, about 45, 50 pounds, and you start doing a lap. And when you can't do a lap anymore and you have to drop it, you have to run a lap to pick it up. And then if you drop it again, you got to run another lap to pick it up. Most guys are picking it up in about two. We started, it was a little too easy, so we started doing a half-mile distance of that. So we got this half-mile loop. Actually, I think it's like 0.78 miles, so it's almost 3/4 of a mile loop. Um, anyway, we do that, and we try to see who can do it with the fewest runarounds of it. That's a really fun test. So everybody grabs two lightweight dumbbells and starts walking, slow jogging, kind of shuffling. And if you drop it, you got to run a lap, which now you're 3/4 of a mile. So most people are dropping it and running. But if you can do it in as few runs or rounds as possible, that's a big deal. We did have one dude that did it. And I've only seen one guy ever do this, and he did the whole thing on one grip, which was impressive. That was a gorilla grip that guy has. Obstacle course racing, try a few. They're a lot of fun. I think they are applicable to what you're trying to do. Rucking, 10 to 12-minute mile pace for 40 to 50 pounds. Some workouts I'd recommend doing: the Devil's Mile, the Log PT Simulator, the Sand Baby Devil Murph. All of these are really good little 2-hour long. If you do this one, the Sand Baby Devil Murph, 2-hour long workouts that are pretty challenging. So anyway, that's my assessment page. So when you're asking like what's good enough, this is good enough, I think. Would investing in Captains of Crush to help with grips? Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Grip strength, a good idea. I don't know. I mean, we just do grip stuff. I mean, we grab onto things really, really hard, whether it's a barbell or a dumbbell or whatever, and gorilla grip it. We hang, we do farmer walks, do deadlifts. We got a little rope on a stick, right? And you just do it like this, the old school stuff. But it's up to you. If you want to buy something to make your grip better, go for it. All right. If someone is not at minimum standards yet for the SEAL PST, would you recommend starting at your phase 1 anyway? Yes, I would. Or the calisthenics and cardio. I've had a lot of people start off there because it is easier, the calisthenics and cardio, but it is pull up, push up, sit ups, running, and swimming. So you can start there if you really need to drop it down a notch. Um, that's what I do. Did I ever train SEALs in California? No, I'm on the East Coast. Can you have caffeine at Buds? Yes, you can. Usually in the form of coffee. No caffeine at the Q course. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, you can have coffee in the I never did. I just drink water. Though every now and then I'd make some tea, like iced tea, but it wasn't really something that was necessary. Tips for training 20-meter beep test along other PST training. Um, my advice is just add in that, make that kind of like the replacement couple of days a week for your mile and a half, because that's really what they're trying to do. They're trying to come up with another idea. Instead of running a mile and a half at a fast pace, you do this beep test that increasingly gets faster every lap. So um, that'd be my advice. I don't really have the beep test in there for any of these workouts, but there's nothing wrong with taking one of the mile jogs or whatever, or the mile and a half set time, and just doing a beep test in place of it. Not every day, but some of the days. What's your best Q course book? You sent me the Army PT book. I appreciate it. I would say the Army PT book is a precursor to the Army Spec Ops workout book, which if you go to the main page at Stu Smith Fitness, you'll see it pop up right there. So pretty much I have my latest book, this Aegis Athlete book, but I also have Air Force Special Warfare, Army Spec Ops, Army Ranger SF workout, Navy SEALs stuff here, my seasonal stuff, FBI. These are just pretty much my top sellers. And then, there's a whole lot more where that came from with like the one we sent you, the Army PFT. We got Marine Corps, regular boot camp, air assault, airborne, weight vest workouts, tactical fitness over 40. It's a really good one. Good series. More winter lift cycles, stuff like that. All right, couple more things here. Good morning, Stu. I switched from your winter lift cycle to your tactical strength program. By the way, the tactical strength program is a winter lift cycle. What are some areas of weakness that tactical strength program has compared to the winter lift cycle? Um, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, they're very similar because my tactical strength program I created is basically what we did in that winter cycle in 2015, 2016. I can't remember what year it was, but the recent winter lift cycles are just a little more uh, what we do lately kind of thing, and we change things up. But here's the beauty of this cycling through this thing. If you have a lift cycle that you really like, that over the years this is what you've done, go do that. You don't have to buy one of my winter lift cycles. Just do a lift cycle that you enjoy, get stronger, and then in the spring start ripping it up, decreasing the weight, running more, swimming more, calisthenics more. That's how you cycle through this to where you're not burning yourself out and just hitting all these plateaus because you're lifting heavy and trying to run fast at the same time. Neither one's getting better, and you're like, what's wrong? Well, sometimes things don't work well together. And over the years, I've been doing this 25 years with this particular system, and every year I kind of recreate a few things, mostly different choreographies of the same exercises. Very rarely do I'll add a new exercise to something unless it's like a revolutionary exercise that just developed or something I've been missing. Um, like when the TRX came out, I would consider that a revolutionary product that we started adding more TRX stuff to workouts. At least here locally and on our membership site, not necessarily in the books because not everybody has a TRX. Though I have made a couple of TRX workout programs that are generic book form. But yeah, that's they're just different years. A lot of times it's the same exercises, just a different choreography of those movements. That makes sense. If I had $1 for every time you mention assessment tool for to and through selection. It is a common question. That's why I wrote that article. Now I can just send a link to everybody and say, read this. This is what you need to do. What's the best way to simulate a day in buds? Morning workout starting. Well, if you didn't see that grinder PT program that I was just, I think I was showing you guys, check this out. So if you guys didn't see this, I think it's on the Spec Ops page. So Spec Ops page, this right here, this grinder PT, this is not only what a day of buds looks like with morning workouts, you eat breakfast, you go run again, you do some log PT simulator stuff in here, go for a ruck. It's got a little hell week in here too, where we actually do 3 workouts a day. It's a butt kicker. Um, it's not really a hell week, but it is as close to the amount of volume that you're getting in that grinder PT. It's I enjoy it. And every now and then we'll do that. Like when our guys are going through hell week, we'll go through one of our own and we just, 3 workouts a day, one right after breakfast. Nothing crazy. Like our normal workout in the morning, we'll all go eat breakfast together and then we'll go do a 4-mile ruck. So it's nothing crazy, but you're just kind of getting used to doing things on a full stomach, which you have to do at Buds. So another one will run down to the Chick-fil-A, eat breakfast, ruck back or run back, depending on which one you did on the way there. That's one of the additional workouts. We'll do a beach something on the beach every day just to get wet and sandy and do the workout wet and sandy. So that's how we simulate stuff. And it's a lot of fun. Guys tend to like it. So somebody says 2-mile swim with fins in a pool. Geez, that's slow. Must be a swimmer. It's actually not. When you wear these big old rocket fins, you're not wearing little slip-on flippers that make you faster. These are actually just really steady kicking of these big rocket fins that aren't really meant for speed. They're meant for power. So when you apply them in open water, when you wear those little slip-on flippers, you're not getting through a 1-knot current very easily. Whereas these rocket fins are just nice, steady, just power you right through the currents. So, and you're doing CSS, not freestyle. So it's a different stroke. I just do dead hangs and deadlifts for grip strength. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That works. In fact, I like to do dead hangs right after heavy deadlifts just to kind of decompress. It's a good way to do that. Joey says, I have a slight shoulder discomfort from swimming. What should I be doing in the pool now? Well, depends. If you're doing a lot of freestyle swimming, probably stop freestyling and do some CSS. And if you are whatever bad shoulder that is, just make it your bottom shoulder and just keep it as a little breaststroke skull so you're not even using it that much and use that top arm as your freestyle catch. That's what I do. But freestyle is probably out of the question. You can tread. I always call treading with no hands vertical swimming. So that's another option. Fins or without fins. I need to work on handling the cold. What are some safe inducing hypothermic activities? We don't do hypothermic activities. We just work out outside in the winter, right? Get used to the cold. I wouldn't do any hypothermic activities. I mean, some people take these ice baths, which, hey, whatever floats your boat, but you're only in it for a minute, then you're back out. Not sure what that does. Um, might help you get used to the cold. I think it does. It's a quick acclimation. But what we do is we just we just work out in the winter. Man, it's another question. Can you fast during buds? I perform better not eating in the morning, and that's just I wouldn't recommend it because let me tell you why. You're burning calories like nobody's business when you're at buds, not just for physical activity, but to stay warm. Right? You might not do a single thing that morning, but be wet and sandy in windy weather, and your body is just shaking to stay warm. Guess how many calories you burn when you do that? A lot. And if you don't have any in your belly, you're just burning fat. You quit having fat, you start burning muscle. And that's not good. How many days a week should I be swimming with fins on what sets? Another common question. We fin on leg days. 2,000 to 2,500 a day, twice a week. That's what we do. Swim with fins, 5,000 total yards a week. That's probably an average week for us. Every now and then we'll throw in a third, especially if we're doing a big cardio day where we'll do a 4 mile run, 4 mile ruck, and a 1 mile swim. So we'll get an extra 2,000 that week. But anywhere between 4 and 6,000 a week, twice a week is pretty standard for us. Let's see. I have a third edition Navy SEAL fitness book with the CD. Did you create that as a starter book? Forgive me, I haven't dipped into it. I mean, it was the first book I created, so that was back in 1999. So, um, it's a good workout, still a great workout in there. People still do it and get through buds with it. Um, it's just different. I've learned a lot in 25 years, and gotten smarter with training. And sometimes I look at some of the workouts I create, I'm like, probably wouldn't do that now. But, for the most part, it's still something you can do if you really want to push yourself. And it will definitely do that. I didn't create it as a starter book. It's a hard program. I do 40-degree ice baths, and I will say it's much better to be in cold weather training than in an ice bath. It sucks a lot more. I would agree. Ice baths just hurt. I mean, getting into them, staying in there, suck a lot. All right, looks like I have answered all your questions today. Nice. You guys asked some good ones today. Looked like I missed a few. My main problem is running and pull-ups. Thanks for answering and keep grinding. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah. All right, hang on. Ryan says I have tendonitis issue and massive shin splints. I focus on running, only on trails strictly. No more concrete ever. Is that okay to proceed in this for running? I want to preserve my knees. Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it. But, eventually when you get into training, you'll be running on dirt roads and pavement combo. Um, make sure your shoes are good. That's probably the number one thing. And stretch those ankles, flex those shins, do some heel walks, do some ankle stretches. Ankle mobility is really big, for shin splints. All right. Yes, I do believe I have answered all the questions. One more, then I got to go. It's almost 1 hour exactly. So, how to balance sprints and long, steady state during the week? We just do them on different days. There's really nothing to balance. One day is a sprint day. One day is a long, slow distance day. One day is a goal pace running day for timed runs. In fact, if you take a look at this 20-mile a week running plan to get you to and through, this is 20 miles a week, and it's a mix of everything. It's got, you name it, put in there. It's got goal pace, sprints, uh, make running harder by running bleachers, hills, stuff like that. It's got everything in there. So check that out. That's how we balance it. All right, folks, I'm out. Good day. You guys have a good one. I'm going to get ready for this snowstorm coming. Storm prep, getting excited. And I'll see you guys next week. You guys have a good one.